Welcome to Fix It Fast. Today we're going to be replacing the front door speakers of this 2016 Toyota Tacoma. We're going to be replacing them with the Memphis Audio mid-range speakers. The reason I'm doing that is because the front door speakers on the Tacoma are already set up to be a mid-range, so I didn't really see the point in adding those high frequencies down at my knee, because you're not really going to hear them very well anyway, down at your legs. That's what the tweeters and the dash are for. So that's why I chose to go with the mid-range speakers instead of like a coaxial. I went back and forth between wanting to do like a component speaker with a crossover built into it, and then you run the wire up through the door and then over to the dash. I really didn't feel like dealing with wiring at this time, and that's why I chose the Memphis mid-range speaker. Let's get to work. Disconnect the speaker harness. There's a little button here. Push that, pull up. I'm gonna remove these bolts. If you don't know how to remove the door trim, follow the link at the end of the video. So here's the Memphis mid-range speaker. We're gonna be installing this today. On the Meta harness here, I actually went ahead and cut the ends off. So we're gonna change that out so that we can use the crossover with the Memphis speakers. I'm going to strip the black wire here. Just going to give these a little twist. Get these wires in here. Use a crimp tool to crimp the ring terminal. Whoops. And then I forgot to put my heat shrink on, but I know for a fact that this will fit over top of there. Good practice to put your heat shrink on first. I'm gonna get this one on as well. Being very careful not to get any loose strands here. That looks good. Make sure we're lined up in the crimp tool. Wires where I want it. Solid crimp. Next, we'll get the heat shrink about where we want it. I'm just gonna heat shrink her down here. We'll do the same with the black connector here. Let's slide our heat shrink over our terminal end here. Try and get about where that ends. Got our terminals ready. Next, we're gonna get our crossover bracket ready. So you're gonna want this hooked end here to point down towards the bend. We'll get our baffle ready here. I got these baffles that help protect the speaker from water, and then also these lips here will help project the sound out. To get these on, your speaker will mount this way. So these will just slide right in here. And then it does require a little bit of coaxing right here on this edge to get it in. Just gonna make sure all these holes are lined up. It won't be perfect, but they'll be close enough that you can get the screw through. The way the Tacoma is, we'll want this pointing up, because that's where our wire is gonna come up through, because the OEM wire comes in from the top to connect. I'm actually going to mount the crossover. This is nice because it's magnetic. I'll hold it in place. Just gonna use this piece of foam so I can sit the speaker down. All right, let's get this speaker in here. Careful you don't bend the bracket there. I opted not to use the retaining clips that Memphis Audio sent with the speakers. I chose not to do this because the clips were kind of digging into the baffle and I really didn't want them tearing a hole in the baffle. The screws fit very tightly in the bracket and I don't foresee it being an issue. You can always upgrade to larger screws if they rattle loose at all.
Oh yeah, if I push it down more, I can get it where I need it. Alright, I'm just gonna tighten these down too snug. We're gonna get the crossover on here. This is super simple. You can't mess this up. The negative one is smaller than the positive. Slide the little cover down onto it. And we'll do the negative here. Just gonna face them the same way. Then we're gonna fish this up through here. And then this will connect to the crossover. Positive is white. I'm gonna orient this so that this is sitting flush. Then we'll do the negative side. Again, orienting this so that this is the flat side down.
Now install the crossover onto the bracket by sliding it into those grooves on the back of the crossover.
This baffle will fit around here. You just gotta tuck it in a little bit. Actually, I wanted to wrap this in test tape to help protect the wires a little bit coming through the bracket hole there. Actually got some of this butyl rope here that I'm gonna put a dollop of it right here. This will just help seal the air hole here and keep things from moving around. Boom. So the baffles came with this foam thing here for behind the speaker. I'm just gonna put that inside the door here. I already have closed cell foam here, but this will help even more dampen the sounds from eliminating each other. Just gonna put it in this orientation. I'm gonna go like right basically on that bar. We're gonna put the speaker in with this facing up.
First, install your screws by hand tightening them. When using a drill, be very careful not to strip out the plastic. I like to go through and hand tighten everything just to make sure it's all snug.
Connect the speaker. So I took two pieces of this foam and then stuck them together. Gives a little thicker piece here. And then, so I'm gonna wrap this around this wire to keep it from jiggling around and making noise against the trim piece here.
So I ran these speakers for about 2 months now. I ran them 1 month without an amp and then 1 month with an amp. And even without the amp, you could immediately tell these speakers hit a lot better than the factory speakers. And then when I put the amp in, they're just that much better. Actually really happy that I went with the mid-range instead of like a coaxial. I had already put the DS18 tweeter speakers up front, and those to my ears already sound very bright. So adding a coaxial speaker down at my knees would have just been like too harsh and very bright. So very happy with the mid-range speaker. I'd highly suggest it. Thank you for watching how to install the Memphis mid-range speaker on the front door of the Tacoma. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for future content. We'll see you on the next one.